so densely populated, is mostly blue collar.
New Jersey has a history of producing raw, gutsy bands, with the music often reflecting the area. With fewer opportunities in the real world, many teenagers turn to music as a way out. But the competition amongst bands is fierce.
Also, the proximity to New York puts extra pressure on these bands to really perform and to really prove themselves, because New York is such an infamous scene and has brought forth so many great bands. It just builds up that inferiority complex. You know, if you're coming from Jersey, you got to like lay it down because you have a lot to work against.
We've always lived in the shadow of New York, and that's why people create basement shows and hall shows and you know, do everything that they can do in order to make a mark on something.
And there's a lot of competition amongst bands because there's so many, because of the populations of bands. There's only a handful of places to play. So to break out, you need to be unbelievably good because there's so much competition. So when bands break out of here, they break hard. They break Springsteen, Bon Jovi, My Chemical Romance, like big, because they're the best of the best in the country.
Gerard Way was born in Newark on the 9th of April 1977. His younger brother Mikey was born on the 10th of September 1980. They were both brought up in the small, quiet town of Belleville.
Belleville is sort of a suburb of Newark, if that's even possible, because Newark is sort of a half-assed city in the first place. So to be a suburb of that is just a stinking place to be. It's not like a New York suburb where, like Hoboken, where there's a lot of money because there's a lot of commuters and stuff. Belleville is in between towns, and there's not a lot of character to it.
It's got this sort of suburban facade kind of to it. At the same time, it's got that sort of, like, it's got the highway that's running next to it. It's got, you know, the strip malls that are all dotted everywhere, and like your Kmart's and your big kind of commercial things. There's not too much, like, just to do, really.
Gerard and Mikey both attended the local school, Belleville High. Gerard was a highly artistic and sensitive individual, prone to bouts of depression and mental instability. He loved comic books and horror movies and was fascinated by the macabre. He played in local bands until his early teens. At this point, he decided to become a comic book illustrator. After graduating from high school in 1995, he attended the School of Visual Arts in New York City. Gerard's life changed forever on the 11th of September 2001, when he witnessed the attacks on the World Trade Center. He was left deeply affected by the traumatic events as he realized how fragile life was and how it could be taken away in an instant.
And he snapped after 9/11. His brain snapped. As far as I know, it's one of the bigger reasons why he started My Chemical Romance, because he was down there and watched it happen. You know, we're only 6 miles away from New York City here. It was insane. I remember driving down this street and mothers were running from schools with children in their arms. Just like people were panicking. It was total chaos. That really freaked him out. He didn't leave his house for a while after that.
Gerard struggled for a long time trying to break into the comic book art world. He felt depressed about the negativity surrounding the profession. He stopped socialising and his friends began to have concerns.
At the time I best remember of him really, me saying, you know, Gerard's losing it, was he was in his house for, I would say, maybe almost 2 months, drawing Spider-Man over and over again. And he